Hey there, welcome to Violet's DIY Style. I'm Violet. If this is your first time to my channel, I hope you consider subscribing. Also, don't forget to click on that bell button so you can be notified every time I upload a new tutorial. And if you enjoy this tutorial, don't forget to give me a big thumbs up and share with friends and family. So today I'm going to share with you how I made this adorable faux apple garland using Dollar Tree supplies. I thought this was so adorable, so many different ways to make it. You don't even have to make it as a garland, just so many different options. But today I'm going to share with you how I made the garland. So what I did was I grabbed one of the packages of apples and I just divided them up, and I'm going to paint 4 of them red and 4 of them the green. Now, this is the second time that I've used Dollar Tree paint, and I'm going to tell you the truth. These colors right here, I don't know if it's just the colors, but as you can see, they don't really paint well, or the color doesn't show through with the wood grain of these apples. So what I had to do was paint each one of the apples white, and I painted the front and back of them. And I just gave it one good coat of the white paint. Now, I've used the Dollar Tree paint before, and I loved it. Like I said, this is the second time I've used it, and I loved that terracotta color they have there at Dollar Tree. It was so thick, and it was basically one good coat of paint, and it really covered really good. But for some reason, this red and green just weren't doing it. So, what I did was I had to paint the wood apples white first. So once I painted all my apples white and I let them dry, then I went ahead and just started painting them the different colors, which are the green and the red. At Dollar Tree, they have such unique different wood garlands now. Let me know in the comments below what colors or what wood garlands have you found at your Dollar Tree that are different than what you normally see there. I've seen these apples, for instance, and then I also saw some fox and some acorns, which I thought were really adorable for fall as well. So let me know in the comments below which ones have you found unique ones, because I know every Dollar Tree at different areas has different supplies, and I'm just curious to see which ones you found at your local Dollar Tree. So once I decided to paint all of my apples white, I went ahead and got a darker forest green and painted the top stem of my apple with that color. So once I was done with that and they were all dry, then I started painting them the red and green. And as you can see, one coat of the red paint still, for my taste, wasn't dark enough or bright enough. So what I did was just give it one good coat, front and back, let it dry, and then gave it a second coat as well. I think making garlands are such an easy way to add any kind of festive or seasonal decor to your home. And you can even add it just not only on shelves, but over your chimney, around your TV, just in different areas. And it's just that perfect little touch to any holiday or season for any room, including the bathroom. I know I've used these in the bathroom as well, just depending on what season it is and which garland I'm making. So the green, what I did was I gave it 2 good coats, but I did give 2 thick coats of the green because it just wouldn't come through the way I wanted it to. So I did have to give them really thick 2 coats of paint and then let them dry in between, of course. And then, it still wasn't as bright as I would like, but it made it work. I made it work, and it was perfectly fine once I did the rest of the decor onto my apples. So once you're done painting all your apples and they're dry, what you can do is they come up with some rope. So what I did was I just threaded that rope through the apple opening, and then I just tied a knot on top just to get them ready for the actual rope that I'm going to add and attach them to make my garland. So just thread your rope through each one of the apples and then just tie a knot to make a loop, and go ahead and set them each one of them aside until we start with our next step. So once you're done threading each one of these ropes through the apple, what I decided to do was just start decorating. So the first thing I wanted to do was, of course, make them look like candy apples. Now, some of them, as you can see, I painted them just that brown color. And this also is from Dollar Tree. This color right here, these are the colors that I told you that I don't know if it's because they're a darker color that they really did come out and look really pretty. So I'm not too sure, again, if it was just the colors that I chose or what, but these right here, this is the dark chocolate brown and then the terracotta. These two colors, I do recommend you get them at Dollar Tree. They're a larger container and you get quite a bit for $1, and they are just really, really pretty colors. So what I did was just add some paint right on the top of the apple and just kind of let it run down. Out here I'm going to do it again. I just added some paint, a thick coat of just one line of paint right at the top. And of course you can add more or less, just depending on how you want your apple to look. Then I just banged it on my table and just let it run through whichever way it wanted to. And there you have it. And then I'm just going to let these dry. Now, since that paint is a little thick, it does take a while for them to dry. So just go ahead and set them aside. Now, some of them I wanted them to look like I dipped them in white chocolate. So again, I just kind of painted that white paint right at the bottom and let some of that red seep through at the top. So you can make any way you want, any kind of design. You don't have to use a traditional, chocolate colored. You can paint these green, you can paint these, purple and make it like a purple chocolate dipped apple. It's completely up to you. I think these are really adorable. Even if you're going to make them for centerpieces for like a party decor piece or something like that, I think it would be so pretty. So what I did here is you can see that since I had already painted one side, I just flipped it over and painted the opposite side. Now I did that to every one of my apples, but what I didn't do is I didn't decorate with the paint like I am on the front of the apple like this right here. Just because it does take a while for that paint to dry since it is thicker. I just went ahead and left it as is at the back and just painted the top or the front of it. So here, what I decided to do was just add some of this glitter that I had just to make it look like some kind of candy or decorative piece on top of each one of these apples. So I made different designs on each one of the apples. You don't have to do it the way I did it. You can make them all exactly the same or just go run wild and decorate each one of them individually and completely different. So here I am just adding some of that glitter right on top. And then I just set those aside and let them dry as well. Here, what I did was I just had one already painted like the chocolate color in the bottom. So what I decided to do was do the white on the top just to make it look like the white was the white chocolate dipped in regular chocolate as well. So again, you can just decorate it any way you want and just use any paints. But if you are going to use this technique like I am, just remember that it does take a while for it to dry. I want to say it took at least a good 2 hours for this paint to dry for me to be able to move them around and finish them up. So once they were completely dry, what I did was grab some popsicle sticks and I just cut them the size I like. And then I went ahead and just hot glued them right on top, right in the middle where those two stems are from the apple. And I did that to each one of my apples. So just add a little bit of glue. You don't need a lot. Just add a little bit and then add that popsicle stick right on top. So once you're done, now you can just start decorating any way you like. You can leave them as is. As you can see, I just grabbed different color ribbons and I cut some of them in half just to make them smaller. And then I left some as is. I also used raffia to decorate some of these apples as well. So you can use anything you like. And let me know in the comments below what you're going to use. Are you going to leave them more simple or are you going to add bows like I did? I know that you can even get like, say, the party supply area, there's some clear plastic candy bags. You might want to add one around here as well, just to make it look like you're presenting it to someone as a gift. That would be really adorable too. So all I did was just make a simple bow with two different kinds of ribbon on this one. And then I just hot glued it right on the top where that popsicle stick met my apple, just to cover that little edge up. And there you have it. Now you can do, again, any colors you like, any color ribbon, you know, just run wild and do anything you like. These are yours, you know, make it your style and your way of wanting them for your home. And as you can see, I kind of just decided to tear apart my raffia just to make it look more shredded on each one of these apples that I did use my raffia on. Now, Dollar Tree does have some raffias that are different colors. And this is like a really pretty dark burgundy red. So I just went ahead and grabbed some, tied one of the raffias to make a bow. And then I just glued that onto one of my apples as well. So again, you can decorate these any way you like. Let me know how you're going to decorate yours. So just cut off any extra raffia or ribbon that you like, and then just go ahead and glue the rest onto your apple. And if you're new to my channel, I post every Sunday. I am going to try to start posting every Sunday and Wednesday again. I know I haven't been doing that lately. I've just been doing other projects, but hopefully I will be getting back into that routine. But for now, I am only posting every Sunday. And I also have a TikTok and an Instagram account. So if you want to follow me on those social medias, all those links are down in my comment description box below as well. So once you're done decorating all of your apples, now just go ahead and get some ribbon or jute twine like I am, and go ahead and start threading your apples. And what I did was I just tied a knot to each one of my apples to make sure they stayed in place. You don't have to do this part. You can also just add a little bit of glue onto each one of those ribbons or ropes, and it'll stay in place as well. But I just threaded it through my rope, and then I just tied a knot to each one of my apples where I wanted to place it to make sure they stayed in place once I hung it up. So again, just go ahead and tie a knot or add some glue. Then I just thought it looked a little empty in between each one of the apples. So what I did was I grabbed the same ribbons that I used to make bows onto my faux apples and just kind of tied them in the middle of each one of them, in between them, and just to make it more decorative, just grabbed a whole bunch of different ribbons and just tied them all together. And as you can see, I untied it because I didn't like tying them all together. So what I did was I grabbed each one of them and just tied them all in the same area, just to make it more different ways. That way I can make the ribbon go different directions. As you can see, just kind of tie them all together, but in the same area. And then go ahead and adjust them any way you want. And then some of them I did cut in between in the middle, and some of them I just left as is. So you can just add whatever you like in between each one of the apples or leave as is. So this is just the way I did my garland. So I just kind of cut all of them just to make sure they all looked kind of even, and just adjusted them. And again, any raffia, I did just kind of pull it apart and just kind of thread it to make it look more fuller. And then there you go. And just continue doing this to each one of the garlands pieces in between each one of the apples. And this is the way it looks once it's all complete. So again, I hope you did enjoy this tutorial. If you did, don't forget to give me a big thumbs up. Until next time, you guys stay blessed. Bye.